time, weather, and always class.
Breath control and bad decisions. It's our game. With Gen X and Salty J.
Today's kids think waiting in an online queue is hardship, but they have no idea Gen X literally camped on sidewalks overnight in freezing cold or blazing heat just for the privilege of spending more money the next morning, and we loved every minute of it. Welcome to Breath Control and Bad Decisions. Today's episode is obviously about camping out for concert tickets when buying a seat was considered an Olympic event. I am Gen X, and I am with...
Salty J, everybody. Hi.
So, do you remember camping out for concert tickets, Jules?
Yeah, I remember when it required actual suffering.
Yeah, actual suffering, not sitting here trying to click a button to get into a queue. Actual
Yeah.
freezing cold. Oh my God, do I have enough clothes? Do I have enough blankets to keep me warm? I have to get in line. I got to be the first in line on Friday night because tickets always went on sale Saturday morning. And it looked like a refugee camp. By the time Friday evening rolled around, you had a refugee camp that was sponsored by Levi's, Marlboro, Mountain Dew, Pizza Hut, lawn chairs, sleeping bags, coolers, boom boxes, and everybody was playing the music. There was just this camaraderie of everybody in line.
That was cool because nobody was going to cut in line or they'd have 20 kids, somebody's mom, and a bodyguard telling them to get the hell out of line.
Yeah, nobody was, oh, I'm saving these spots for my friend. The fuck you are. Nope.
Yeah, no.
None of that shit. There was
We
none
would
of
have
that
threw
shit.
hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it was safe. The cops did drive-bys to make sure that everything was on the up and up. We were allowed to drink as long as they didn't see the container. And as long as we weren't going anywhere, the cops would turn the other cheek.
The blind eye.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, drinks fit perfectly in the large McDonald's cups, and then you just put the straw through it.
Yeah.
And then you could even put ice to keep them cold. So, yeah, It totally worked.
Yeah, that's how we did it. And it was a neighborhood. Everybody knew. Within 2 hours, you knew everybody. You knew who they came with. You knew where they worked. You knew who they were dating. You knew which band they claimed they'd seen before they were famous. Somebody brought a guitar. Nobody asked him to. Nobody wanted to hear it. There was always somebody.
They played the
doing
same
that.
2 songs the whole
Right.
time.
If you were lucky, there was a payphone nearby so you could order pizza, or somebody could order pizza. You never really had a lot of money with you. You brought a cooler and some snacks.
D batteries for your boombox.
Yep, you had to pee outside because there were no porta potties. No
Yeah.
text messages, no location sharing. Your friend would save your spot when you went to pee. That was the only spot saving, was when you had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, if you had
they
been there.
They didn't provide porta potties, yeah.
Yeah, which was insane.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. When you think about it now, an entire generation of kids slept outside in front of a Sears, a Van Lunen's, in my case, it was a Sears or a Van Lunen's. Whatever store it was inside, you slept outside that store. There were no porta potties. There were no food trucks. There were no vending machines. You had to bring your own provisions.
Pringles.
Pringles.
That was always mine. Yeah, and it was kind of funny too, because your parents are like, don't talk to strangers, be home when the street lights come on. And then they're like, okay, we're going to drop you off with 100 strangers and leave you here all night.
Yep.
It just...
And they didn't come by. They did not come by for the rest of the night.
No, they went home and went to bed.
Yep. They went home, they went to bed. In one instance, we stayed out in butt-ass freezing cold, negative temperature weather at the Sears and Eastgate Mall for slippery when wet tickets. And it was fucking freezing that night. There was a shit ton of us in line. I think we were 4th or 5th, me and my friends. It was brutal. It was brutally cold. People had tents and sleeping bags and everything you could possibly think of to stay warm except for fire, because you couldn't have an actual fire at the mall. And there was a Holiday Inn next to the mall. And one of the girls that I was with, 3 or 4 of us, I think, she actually went and got a room so we could go and take turns and
trade off. That's genius.
And trade off and get warm because that Holiday Inn was there. But you had to walk the entire park behind the entire parking lot of the mall to get to it. So it's still really cool. We were supposed to do it, I think 1 hour, 2 hour increments. And my friend and I went and we fell asleep. I think we were there for like 6 hours.
Was your friend pissed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and rightfully so. Right, like she said, she was
And
out there calling us names. I didn't have a cell phone, and I suppose I could have called the front desk to give me a wake-up call, like an alarm, wake me call up here in 2 hours. But one of us was supposed to kind of stay awake while it didn't happen that way. I still feel bad about it that happened, but that was the only concert that we actually had like a way to kind of get warm. But it was so cold that night, and it was still one of my favorite experiences.
who did you leave out there? Which
Uh,
friend?
Somebody that we were not friends with by the time the concert rolled around, but that didn't have anything to do with it. She
Oh,
was
okay.
actually dating one of my brother's friends, and they broke up, and that's how that happened.
Gotcha.
It wasn't because of that. She wanted to go. We were like, yeah, come and wait in line with us, and we didn't tell her to get the room. She got the room on her own because she was cold. She was
Yeah.
freezing. She's like, I'm gonna go get a room. I was like, okay, and by the time the concert rolled around, she didn't go because she was no longer with that person. So yeah.
After all that,
After all of that, yep.
I bet she remembers it.
If I still do, she probably still does. And then you waited, and the anticipation. It was sunrise. You saw the sun slowly coming up. You're like, ooh, it's gonna open. It's gonna open.
I remember the doors would open and my heart rate would be like
Through the
thumper,
roof.
like
Yeah, yeah. You started counting people in line because you knew there was only going to be a certain number of tickets. And I remember for that particular concert, they sold out in like seconds. Seconds.
are you serious?
Yes. And they
Oh.
said tickets are sold out, and everybody that was in line shouted, no! And pushed so hard that the counter at Ticketmaster moved back. Like they pushed the counter and moved it back a couple of feet. And then they announced that there was a second show. So
Thank God, huh?
everybody got tickets.
Calm
But
down.
yeah, it's one of those things where you start counting people. I did that for, I think, Motley Crue tickets. Even though I was like 10th in line, you still start counting. You're like, oh, are we going to make it? Because every Ticketmaster in the city is selling tickets. But it was that anticipation of, am I going to get
Are you
tickets?
going to get
When
there
are
in
they going
time?
to open? Are we going to get good tickets? What are we going to get? And we didn't get good tickets to that show. We did not get good seats. We got seats that were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections to the side of the stage back. So we didn't, even being that number in line and that close, we still didn't get great seats. They weren't terrible.
I remember the tickets were like 20, $25, and I remember thinking that that was the most expensive tickets in the world.
Yeah. I remember thinking that the tickets were expensive until you got to the concert and you wanted to buy a t-shirt, and the t-shirt was more expensive than the ticket.
Yeah, but you had to have it because you had to
Well,
like
yeah.
go to school the next day.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and you would get up to the counter and your heart would be racing, and you were trying to be calm, and the person who was doing the tickets was just methodically slowly moving. You're like, oh my god, just move, come on. They had the urgency of somebody choosing wallpaper. It was just so slow, and I think they did it on purpose. Click, click, and you're like, come on. And then they were finally like, here's your tickets. And you walked away, and you actually had the physical hard ticket in your hand. You walked away with tickets.
Hard tickets that I still probably have some in a scrapbook somewhere in a plastic tub.
I have all of
Like
mine
the
on my original bulletin board from high school that still hangs in my office. And occasionally I go
oh,
revisit that Bon Jovi ticket. I think it was $15. $15.
that's wild.
Uh-huh. It was at Cincinnati
Wow.
Gardens, and I think the ticket was $15, and it was Electric Factory Concerts was the presenter. Most of my concert tickets, I think, were Electric Factory Concerts was the promoter at the time, and they were all through Ticketmaster. But I think that ticket was $15. The concert shirt was $25, and I remember thinking $25 was outrageous. $25 for a T-shirt, outrageous. And like 10 years ago, I bought an Iron Maiden concert ticket or concert shirt that was $50. And I thought that was outrageous.
I mean, it
$50 is
is, but
nothing when you think about it.
yeah, it's crazy. I remember we skipped school to go to this little town in Georgia called Americus, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
so we could get New Kids on the Block tickets. We were like third row, fourth row, and I was a big New Kids on the Block fan. I think I've talked about that in a previous episode.
Yeah.
But Donnie took his sweaty ass shirt off and threw it in the audience, and I caught it. And I was like, oh, I caught his sweaty t-shirt. You know, it was like a wife beater shirt. And
Yeah.
some girl snatched it from me, and I was like, okay. So I didn't even have it, but why was I excited about some musty ass shirt? Like, that's gross.
Because
But I
that's
was.
it's the same with why were women excited about getting a sweaty Elvis scarf. It's the same reason.
Yeah.
It's
It's
you know,
true.
yeah. I would have been excited about it if I were a New Kids on the Block fan. If John Bon Jovi's sweaty T-shirt, I'd have been all over that shit. I mean, I think my
Uh,
friend and I got third row for Motley Crue, and we were right in front of Nikki Sixx, and he kept throwing out guitar picks, bass picks, and they're tiny little picks, and you're in a crowd on the floor of it's dark, and while their seats
Getting
are
trampled.
folded, they're folded seats, and so we're getting trampled, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, stop throwing these out into the audience. My friend and I are gonna die. I'm like, we are gonna die.
I mean, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah,
People get crazy.
they do, and it's the same thing with when you're standing on the seats. When you're on the floor, you have to stand on the seats to see because you're short. Little, girls were little, we're short, so we'd be standing on the seats to see. And I remember my friend was standing to the right of me, and there was a guy next to her that it's just people we didn't know, and he had put his arm around her shoulder and was like trying to cop a feel. I remember I decked him so fucking hard.
Good.
I turned to my right and I saw it, and she hadn't really noticed because she was kind of just caught in the moment of what was going on, and I saw it, and I just, oh my God, I went around behind her head and I just punched him right in the side of the head. I was so pissed.
I mean, hopefully he learned a lesson because,
Yeah, dudes are just
yeah.
dudes at concerts were just gross.
I know I always wanted to crowd surf because I thought it looked so cool, but I was always scared because I feel like people would always try to cop a feel.
Yeah,
So I
they
never did it.
would. They would. And since we didn't have cell phones, you got to watch the concert just pure. You're not looking at a
You know what
phone,
I
you're
was,
not taking pictures, and they wouldn't let cameras in either. You couldn't take photos.
well, what I was remembering, which it's kind of scary when you think about it, we all took in lighters and we would hold
Mhm.
the lighters up and wave them back and forth.
Yep.
But when you think about how much Aquanet was in some of those concerts,
Oh my god, right?
like we're lucky the whole place didn't just blow up because,
No cameras allowed, but please bring open flame. Open flame totally
yeah,
acceptable.
yeah. Now people just use their cell phone lights, but we had lighters, like real
Yes.
lighters.
We had actual lighters. It's I remember we went to, I think it was another Motley Crue concert, and we had floor seats. I remember there were three guys in front of us, and of the three, one of them was already passed out before the opening act even got on stage. Just slumped over sideways in his chair. I was like, what's wrong with these people? Even as a teenager, I was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
I can remember buying the shirt at the concert and the next morning going, like I was going to head to school,
Mhm.
and I feel like it smelled like cigarettes from being at the
Yeah,
concert.
it probably did. Cigarettes and weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was always
And
pot too.
and the more I like wore the t-shirts, the more I liked them. Like they'd get all soft with like the tiny little holes in them and
Yeah,
stuff. I
they
wore the
made good.
shit out of them.
I feel like they made good quality shirts back then.
They did. I had an Elton John shirt from when I was a kid until like 2 months ago, and it finally just gave out.
Yeah, I have a Bon Jovi. I have a tie dyed. It's tie dyed, but it's not obnoxiously tie dyed. It's like muddled green and yellows, and it's got the New Jersey skull on it, and it just says Bon Jovi. It says New Jersey underneath it. I have had that shirt since I was 19. It still fits. It's still really soft. The only thing that is technically wrong with it now is it's got a little tiny hole starting under one of the armpits. I still wear that shirt every summer. I still wear it. Now ask me about any of my other tour shirts from back then.
I don't have any other ones.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
I don't have any of them. I wish to hell I did. I don't have any of them. I have my several Judas Priest tour shirts. I have an Iron Maiden one. I have a Bad Company one. I have current ones, but I don't have any from back in that time. And then we'd get done with getting one concert ticket, finally secured, and then another band that we loved would announce that their tickets were going on sale the following weekend, so you had to do it all over again. Do I even have the money to do it? Do I have the time off work? Can I do that?
Yeah, can I afford it? And can I get a t-shirt if I do afford it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I looked up, you know me, when you write an episode, I'm always trying to figure out what I should know about it. So I looked up which concerts that everybody probably saw at least one of. So you want to hear some of the list?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Def Leppard was the biggest,
Yeah, I saw Def
and
Leppard
then
1, 2, 3, 4 times.
only one here. And then Bon Jovi,
Countless, too many to count.
New Kids on the Block.
Never.
Did you ever see them? No.
No. Nope.
Poison,
I
Motley
saw
Crue.
Poison. I saw Poison as opening acts. I did not see them as main acts.
Yeah, yeah. So Aerosmith, they were from Tallahassee, or Steven Tyler was. So
Yeah, I saw Aerosmith twice. Yeah, twice.
Motley Crue, I wish I would have seen them. I never did.
Many times. Yes.
Guns N' Roses,
I never saw GNR.
Journey,
Did not get tickets for Journey, but I had friends who did.
Van Halen,
Van Halen was once, and that was the 5150 tour.
more concerts than me. Okay, I'm gonna be jealous if you saw this one. AC/DC.
Uh, did I see AC/DC? I did see
If you did, you should remember it.
I did, but I was an adult. I did not
That's
see them as a teenager. I saw them as an adult.
REO Speedwagon,
No, because
White
they
Snake.
were popular when I was a little bit younger. Whitesnake I saw as I think I saw them as an opener.
Cinderella,
I saw Cinderella as an opener for Bon Jovi twice, and I saw Cinderella as a headliner once, and then I got to perform on stage with Jeff LeBar in Nashville in 2019.
dang girl, Skid Row,
Many times, twice as a Bon Jovi opener, once as a small at Bogarts in Cincinnati Arena. Warrant I saw at Bogarts in Cincinnati, and I did a meet and greet with them when I was managing a record store. So I got to meet them as well.
Bryan Adams,
Nope. Like Bryan Adams, just never saw him in concert.
me either. Madonna,
Nope, not a Madonna fan. I had friends who went to see Madonna.
I actually really like her. Michael Jackson.
I like some of her stuff. I'm not going to say that I don't like some of her music. I would never take that away from her. I think she was definitely a trailblazer. But I did not enough for me to be like, oh, I'm going to go to a Madonna concert. Never saw Michael Jackson in concert.
I wish I could have. And then George Michael and
Never saw George
U2.
Michael. And I'm not a huge U2 fan. I think I have 2 of their songs in a playlist. 2. That's it.
So that was my list, but I really, really, really wanted to see Cyndi Lauper, and I couldn't get concert tickets. They were sold out before I had a chance to go try to buy them.
I
And
saw
I
Cyndi
know.
Lauper.
Did you? Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I was
So
13.
one of my dad's friends, I guess, drove her to the concert in his taxi cab from the airport, and I was pissed. Like, I was like, could you just stop by the house?
Something? Come on.
Yeah.
Help me out here. You know I'm a teenage girl. For fuck's sake. Give me something.
Oh, I loved her. Yeah,
I
girls
didn't
just
sleep
want to
out.
have fun. Like,
Yeah, I didn't sleep out for those tickets because I was 13 when I saw her, so I certainly would not have been allowed to do that at that age. Obviously, I went to Ticketmaster and got them, but I was 13, so I know we didn't sleep out for them. She played at, so Kings Island, our amusement park, also had a concert venue as part of it. It was called Timberwolf, and she played at Timberwolf. And I remember our tickets were so far back and they just had benches to sit on. And I mean, we couldn't see shit. We could hear the concert. We just barely. You could occasionally you'd see her hair. That was the extent of it.
Or like an elbow.
Yeah, you'd be like, I think I saw her hair.
Where I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida. All we had was the Civic Center, and it wasn't that great. So we didn't get a lot of good concerts there.
Yeah.
Um, as an adult, I moved to Orlando. I really had a better experience there. You know, when you said you camped out and it was cold and you were freezing, it was the opposite for me. It would always be like blazing hot. You had to have mosquito spray. Yeah.
Which is most uncomfortable? Trying to sleep out when it's 30,000 degrees out or trying to sleep out when it's 30,000 negative degrees out? Like,
I would
which would be your preference?
I would guess that I would much rather take the heat, but that's probably because I was raised in Florida, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Like, would you rather be in the cold or the heat?
That's really hard having experienced mostly the freezing where it was unbearably cold and you've got the threat of frostbite and you've got to do all of these things to just be sedentary. So I would probably say the heat because eventually with heat it cools off when the sun goes down.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah.
So with
And it was
cold,
North Florida.
it just gets fucking colder when the sun goes down. The pavement is cold. Everything is cold. So I would probably say heat because at least with heat you can get a fan and you can cool
Drink
down, you
water.
can dump
Yeah.
water over, you can cool off. With cold, you are fucked.
I don't know. I think I would definitely go for the Florida experience. But like I said, we didn't get many good concerts
Yeah.
because of just the location. But it was also North Florida and it did get colder there. So sometimes it was actually nice. Like
Yeah.
sometimes we had an advantage.
Yeah, I think that even though it's where I am today, it's like 108 degrees out and it's really miserable and awful. I know that once the sun sets, it'll still be hot, but it won't be oppressively hot. So I think trying to camp out for concert tickets and that is would be better because when the sun goes down, you get a little bit of relief. Plus the sidewalk when you're sleeping bag, it doesn't freeze you because you're laying on ice cold concrete. And I think that, and you won't get frostbite. You can cool off in the heat. You can drink cold water. You can dump that water all over you. There's so many things you can do to kind of cool off versus when it's blistering cold out. There's not a whole lot you can do that you don't need electricity for, you know?
I think
Because
one of my
you can
favorite
drink
things,
hot chocolate, but it's not going to make you hot.
no, it's not. Although those thermoses like were the greatest with the
Yeah.
little cup you poured. Oh, I thought those were
Yeah.
fabulous. I'd just sit there and hold it to try to stay warm. That's actually a good core memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the heat. You open it up and sniff it and
Yeah, and
like
you're like,
that chocolate
ooh, and you
smell.
do that thing with your hands. You do the
The Mr. Burns. Excellent.
excellent.
And I'm telling you, I always had Pringles. I loved Pringles.
I can't
So
remember what kind of snacks we had. It was always like chips and it was junk. It was always garbage, but you always had snacks. When you're that age, you can burn that shit off. So that's what
oh
you had.
yeah.
And
I could
I
not
get that
gain weight at that age.
I get that with the evolving technology, getting concert tickets is so much easier now, but it's such a core memory, that camaraderie and that fun. Part of going to a concert was the experience of camping out for concert tickets.
I would not know anybody in line, and then by the time we got to get our ticket, we knew everybody's whole life story.
You did, and you made friends, and you'd see them at the concert if they got tickets near you, and you have that camaraderie. Now you sit at a computer and hope that the shit doesn't time out when you're trying to get tickets, and then $7,000 later, you have an electronic ticket that you've got to put in several different places to make sure that you've got it. And I get my boarding pass, the QR code in my airline app, and I have it there, but then I also screenshot it so I have it in my gallery in case something happens and the 5G or the Wi-Fi doesn't work in the airport and the boarding pass doesn't queue up. So I've got it there, and then I also print one out when I drop my bags off. Like, all of these things, all of these fail safes in case these things don't work. Where back then, here's your concert ticket, put it in an envelope, put it somewhere you're not going to lose it. That's it. Now you get an electronic ticket that's a QR code, and you've got to put it in several different places, and so you can retrieve it in case something were to happen and you couldn't get into the original app that has it. You password forgotten, or doesn't recognize my fingerprint, or it's not doing that for whatever fucking reason, because technology is always going to fuck up somewhere.
There was always scalpers back then too. Like if
Hmm.
you didn't get concert tickets, you could go to the concert right beforehand, and
Yes.
there was always some guy. Psst, you want to buy some tickets?
Now
And
they just, yeah, they have the signs where need ticket sign, and then they got the want ticket sign. I'm like, why don't you two
yeah,
meet
but
and buy?
Ticketmaster makes it so difficult though. Like I bought my daughter Billie Eilish tickets on Ticketmaster,
Hmm.
and I could not send them to her or give them to her, even though I bought it for her graduation. So I ended up having to go to Atlanta with her, or she wouldn't have been able to get in.
I think with Ticketmaster you have to have the app, and then you can transfer them. Because I've been able to transfer tickets to the. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass
Yeah,
now. Back then, you're like, I got my tickets. They're right here. They're hard copy.
yeah.
And when the concert's over, I have the ticket stub from it, and I can tack it on my bulletin board.
My daughter just asked if we could go see Megan Maroney, and the tickets were almost $500 a piece. And I was like, nope,
Nope, nope, we sure
nope.
can't. Why do why do tickets need to be that fucking expensive? Now you need to charge fans who can barely afford to buy groceries $500 to see your ass? Shut up.
It's wild. I I really like too because it's different now. People get discovered through social media and so many different avenues. But back then, so many bands were discovered by being cover bands, and
Right, but they had
I
to be
loved
good.
it.
They had to be good bands too. I'm the first to admit I have a lot of CDs of bands that put out one CD and that was it.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-hit wonders.
Yeah, and then I have a lot of bands that have one CD that only had one good song on them, and then that was it. But I like that song. I'm like, fuck it, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't pay $500 to see him then. I sure as fuck wouldn't do it now. I'm not paying $500 to see anybody, even bands that I absolutely fucking love. Now you can buy VIP experiences. Like, what the
Oh,
hell
I
is
did that.
that?
Okay, so it's worth it.
No, I
I
know it
went
is, but
to,
what it like the whole that whole mindset is you can spend thousands of dollars to have this VIP experience where you get all this shit and you get to meet the band or you get to do this, which is it's great, but again, it the people who can't afford it get fucked.
yeah, they do. I did that for a reggae festival. It was like a 4-day reggae festival,
Hmm.
and it was free drinks, free food. You sat in an area that had shade. My pale ass needed it, and it was so worth every penny. And
Yeah.
I just, my excuse was, I'm probably not going to get to do this again. The Dirty Heads are my favorite band. They were playing. So it was like I was right by the stage. Shaggy and Sting, that was
Hmm.
so cool. But yeah,
Did you
I
get
was
to
poor.
meet them with that experience, or you just
I,
see? I
I did not.
Yeah,
No.
see from where you were.
I probably could have if I ponied up more money. I accidentally, so I was walking with one of the guys from one of the biggest bands there, and I didn't know it, like just walking through the crowd,
Hmm.
and I wasn't paying attention, so I was just walking with the flow of everybody. And then I look up and there's all these like camper trailers and like security guards and stuff. Apparently, I had walked straight to the back where everybody, and I guess I just looked like I knew where I was going, so nobody stopped me.
That's
So
it.
I
You
was
sell it,
back,
selling it with confidence.
yeah, so I was back there with all the artists, but as soon as I realized, I just kind of turned around and dipped right back because I didn't want to get kicked out. I just sometimes I get myself into stuff. I don't know how I do it. I was looking at him and I was like, it's a white guy with black hair and dreads. And I was like looking at his hair, and then I'm walking and I'm thinking about it, and then I'm thinking about where I'm going to catch up with my daughter, and then all of a sudden I'm like completely, about 500 feet past where I should have been. But
That's hilarious. I
It was
love that
fun
you were
though.
just like, "Holy shit, I'm backstage," and then you just melted out so you wouldn't get kicked out. Like, what were they? All they would do is tell you that you were in an unauthorized area. They wouldn't have kicked you out of the concert or anything. And you know, being a woman, being a girl, I didn't know I was trying to find my daughter. I I did pay for a VIP experience when Bad Company was here in 2017 because I saw Bad Company in 1990, but it was when Paul Rogers was not with them. So I didn't see them intentionally. They were opening for Damn Yankees. And while the show was good, it wasn't Paul Rogers, and I fucking love Paul Rogers. And I was never old enough when Bad Company was, really, really famous in the 70s. I was a child, so I certainly wasn't seeing them then. So when they did their one hell of a reunion tour in 2017, I think it was, I was like, okay, I want to go to this fucking concert, and I want to have good seats, and I want to do that, and I think it was $150 for a VIP, and it was like you said, it was just a covered shaded area next to the stage before the show, and you could sit there and get food and drinks. That was really, it wasn't a meet the band thing, but it was that type
Yeah.
of deal where you could go in, you could have dinner and, light snacks and beverages, and then you would go. We had good seats, and the show was really, really good. I obviously wanted to go see the show, but I was like, it was summer because it was at an outdoor venue, so I'm glad that I paid for that experience. But now I'm talking about the VIP experiences are thousands of dollars, and you get all this loot, and you get to meet the band. I think it's one of those things where it's like, well, it's not an organic thing. It's not, you didn't just kind of run into them, or you didn't see them here, you didn't do this. And the people who can't afford that get fucked. They get screwed out of that experience just because they don't want to drop thousands of dollars on that shit. It's not. Again, life isn't fair. I get that. Blah blah blah. I understand that. I think it's kind of shitty because you have fans from all walks of life, and these people want to do that too, but they can't because thousands of dollars to meet a band is bullshit. Who
And then they
needs that
don't
money?
even really
Who
want to
needs
meet
that-
you.
Right. Who needs that fucking money? Do you remember when
I would feel like
you would meet a band organically just because you happen to be at the right spot, or you happen to be near a stage entrance, or you happen to be this, and you're like, holy shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I also remember we would camp out before the concert or after the concert, like at the side door of the
At the
Civic
side
Center to
door.
see it
Right.
and try to get an autograph. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you go out
But
to the exit door behind the stage to backstage, not the backstage area, but behind the venue. You're like, they're going to come out here. I know it. In most cases, they were already gone. But still, by the time you got out there, they were already gone. But you wanted to try because the chances were kind of high. You could be able to maybe catch a glimpse or maybe see something.
when we went to that New Kids on the Block concert, we stayed at a hotel, and one of the opening acts, I can't remember the name of it. It was these cute little kids, and one of them's dad was like the producer for the New Kids on the Block, and they started a band. But anyway, they stayed at our hotel, and I remember we were all like hanging out in the hallways, sitting down, talking. Like it was
Yeah,
just very
it's organic.
chill.
My
Yeah.
friend and I had gone to a concert at Riverbend in Cincinnati, and that's another outdoor venue, and it was there was three bands and Winger and the Bullet Boys, and we were there to see the headliners. The only reason I remember the other two is because when we left, and I like Winger. I know people think they're wussy or whatever, but I don't. And I've met Kip Winger. He's really super super nice, and I do like them. But my friend had bought the tour shirt of the headliner, and Winger and I had the tour shirt of the headliner. And when we left the venue, we stopped in at the Montgomery and East, which is no longer there, and it was on Beachmont Avenue in Cincinnati. And we stopped there because we were hungry, and we were waiting in the the entryway, waiting to get seated. And this was like 11:30 at night on a Saturday night, and they were still that fucking crowded. And while we were sitting in there, the Bullet Boys roll in. They just opened the door. We were like, holy shit, that's the Bullet Boys. And we got pictures with them, and they signed I think I had a tape in my car because I was like, well, we're going to go see them. We might as well know the music, right? So I went out and I grabbed the tape, and they signed the tape, and they signed the shirts that we had, even though it wasn't their shirts. Like, I felt kind of bad about that. But to be fair, it wasn't like we were hanging out at the Montgomery and waiting to see the fucking Bullet Boys. We weren't expecting a band to walk in, and they did. It was amazing. That's, again, it's another one of those organic situations where you're like, holy crap.
I know them. I know
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I like it too.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that VIP piece takes that away from it a little bit. And people will disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But we didn't have that opportunity when we were growing up. It was, you slept out for concert tickets, you went to see the show, you didn't buy anything, you couldn't buy anything else. You didn't buy a backstage pass. You were chosen to get a backstage pass. Or for me, when I worked at the record stores, I started to meet the record label people because they were distributing and we were promoting, and so that got to be how I would get in. I would call David, who was my WEA rep, and I would call David and I'd be like, hey, this band is coming, whoever's on, whatever bands were on Warner Electric Atlantic, I would call David and say, hey, so-and-so's coming, can you get me tickets? And David would get me those tickets. But that was well into my 20s at that time. But you still couldn't get a backstage pass. It's not like I could call David and be like, hey, can I get a backstage pass too? Like, no, I had to be doing something with the industry to be part of that. There's no organic meets nowadays. It's, you're paying a shit ton of money to meet somebody, and I don't know.
Well, and you don't really feel that enthusiasm like I just won the lottery
Right.
because you've
You're like,
paid for it.
I paid to meet you. I expected you to be here because I paid for you to be here to meet me, and cool. When you just organically run into them somewhere or see them, your eyes go big and your mouth drops, and you can't believe you actually ran into that person.
Yeah. And there's that excitement there.
Right. When you're just you
I,
paid for them to sit at a table for them to sign something and take a picture with you, and then it's next. There's your $1,000 or $2,000 for 3 seconds. How's that feel? Good.
no, that wouldn't feel good.
It,
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I've never paid to meet anybody, like even at like Pensacon or any of those things. I wouldn't pay to go get pictures with the different people.
Right.
I ran into like Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob and talked to him
Mm-hmm.
in the stairwell, or talked to Vern Troyer, and like that was like the highlight of like my year. But I didn't pay to do that, and it made me
Right.
feel very lucky and blessed and special.
Right. You
Yeah.
ran into them just
Yeah.
by chance. That's how you do
That's
that.
the fun part.
That's
Yeah.
exactly, that's the fun part. That's the amazement, the little kid on Christmas morning type of deal where you're like, oh my god, I just ran into a famous person, holy shit.
I
Like,
just won the lottery. Yeah.
yeah, that's how that feels. And if you're paying to meet somebody, it takes that away. Plus, you're out the money. Why do they need that money?
You're like basically prostituting the artists.
Yeah, I don't
Not
know.
sexually,
I
but you know what I
no,
mean.
no.
Like,
Well, obviously, I mean, because then maybe it'd be worth it. No, I'm just, but it's just, I just think it's a shitty way to do stuff, and I get it. I know that people will disagree because they're like, well, that's my one chance to meet somebody. I've always wanted to meet them. Yeah, that's fine, but you have to have the money to do it, and you're just screwing people who don't have the money, who maybe saved all year to be able to afford a fucking ticket, and then you people are all fancy going in and being like, oh, here's my bag of shit that I got from from my VIP experience too. I'm very important and I met them, right? But you paid to meet them. It's a lot different than I just I met them and organically we became friends, and now we still we text each other. People that are younger than us that didn't have to camp out for tickets.
yeah, no, the highlight is like you sign online and then you hope that you get into a pool before the tickets sell out
Yeah,
as you're driving down the road for 10 minutes when you
yeah,
know that it's going to happen.
yeah.
And it's like 10 minutes of excitement
I had to do that
when
to
you
get
really, yeah, you could have made friends.
Yeah,
And
I had to do that to get my Iron Maiden tickets a couple years ago. I was actually at a doctor's appointment when they went on sale. They went on sale at like 10 a.m.
mhm,
and I had a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. I was actually sitting in the room and he came in and I was like, give me just a second. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting Iron Maiden tickets and I just need you to be cool for a minute while I get these. It's
you're
it's
like, this
weird.
is life or death, dude.
Yeah, I was like, this
Yeah.
is original Iron Maiden, or not original because it was Iron Maiden with Bruce Dickinson after he had gone through cancer. Original Iron Maiden was with another singer altogether. But regardless, it was like, no, this is Iron Maiden with Bruce. He's conquered the cancer and he's back and he's singing, and I've got to get my fucking tickets, and I just need you to chill for 5 minutes while I go through this rigmarole.
Just listen to my lung sounds as I talk.
Yeah, I was sitting in the chair. I'm like, just wait, just wait. I'll be done here in a second. I have to get these tickets. They just went on sale, and I need to get good seats because I'm old and I need to have good seats, and they can't be on the floor because also I'm old.
I used to camp out for shoes too, and I was a sneakerhead.
Yeah,
And now it's like you just have to try to buy them online at a certain time. And it takes the fun out because I'm still friends with some of the people I met doing that stuff, you know?
yeah. There's a whole camaraderie there. You're all there for the same thing, and you all talk about your favorite song or your favorite, which one of the band is your favorite. You log in, you hear the noise, you hope your computer doesn't crash, you hope everything goes through, and you hope that even though you're getting in at 10:01 that you get a good ticket, even though at 10:01 all the scalpers and all the resellers have bought, if for whatever reason, have been able to get 1,000 tickets, and then you're stuck up in the nosebleeds.
I feel like people today have so many advantages, like our last episode talking about GPS and navigation and
Hmm.
but I don't think it's a benefit to just be able to get tickets online wherever you're at because
Yeah.
you miss that connection, and we need less like internet and keyboards and more face to face laughing and hugging and high fives,
Yeah.
that connection.
We say
We need
as we
more
record a
bonfires.
podcast, in two different states.
Yeah,
But we
I
are
can see your
looking at each
face.
other. Yeah, we are. We see each other. It's not like we're sitting here blindly. But you're right. And I think that that's part and parcel for why there's so many communication issues is because people don't know how to communicate face to face, and we got to do that. And sleeping out, camping out for concert tickets was a big part of that because you're all initially bonded together.
Yeah.
Just right out of the gate, you're all there for the same reason. You all love the same thing. Boom, you're bonded.
And if somebody tries to cut in front of you, you're all getting together like the Avengers to fuck
Oh
them
yeah,
up.
I will
Because,
cut. I will cut a bitch. Yeah. Where the
yeah.
fuck you think you're going?
And
I don't fucking think so.
and it's
Yeah.
the whole group that would go after anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
not. It's
and
not
there
like
was
just one person doing it. It's the whole group. Is like, what the hell you think you're doing?
and I feel like society's changed on that too. Like now they give out like numbers and bracelets. A lot of people don't take accountability or follow the rules. Like we did, and if
Yeah.
somebody didn't, we all forced them to.
Right.
And part of that was good for society.
Yeah. I mean, it goes along that whole thing of today where they're like, you shouldn't shame anybody. I'm like, no, you should. There are some behaviors that need to be fucking shamed to stop this shit. It's kind of along those
Yeah.
same lines. Businesses have to hand out bracelets to keep people in line in the right way and keep them in line, figuratively and literally, because everybody has this immediate instant gratification. I'm number one, me first, fuck anybody else. I don't care about you. I was here. I'm taking that spot in the line. What are you going to do about it?
I hate those people.
Yeah. We didn't have that camping out for concert tickets. We didn't. Everybody, I'm not saying there weren't a bad seat here and there. Sure there were, but you didn't really experience that kind of shit.
Yeah, we didn't. I know you talked about people had tents and stuff. I remember like boom boxes were probably my favorite thing because we
Hmm.
would be listening to music, and I just really I really liked when people had like blankets or chairs, or it just you make it feel like home. It was
Yeah.
like almost like a challenge to just try to make it comfortable.
Yeah. I never had tents, but people had tents because it was cold out and they would just put the tent against the build. Like the line would be the building, the wall would be here, and then they just have their tent against it in their spot in line. And then you'd have camp chair or lounge chairs, or not lounge chairs, but the folding chairs, outside chairs. You know what I'm talking about? Lawn chairs. That's
Oh
the word I'm
yeah.
looking for. Lawn chairs. We'd have lawn chairs and blankets and coolers and boom boxes and all the all the things that we needed to survive the night
We should hold a concert and make people stand in line for tickets.
and make
Like
people
we should
stand
bring
in
it back.
line.
Dude, I would
How
prep
are
it
we
so
gonna do
fun.
that? How are we gonna do that?
Well, we'll figure out a band that everybody wants to see and a venue, and that's the only place you can buy them is at the little thing. And then now with like batteries and stuff, I'd take like a blender, a tent, air conditioner,
Like
like
a blender. I brought my Ninja. I brought my Ninja blender. I brought my wood fire
hell
grill. I'm
yeah,
gonna smoke a pork shoulder while we're standing out here.
I would. Listen, I could tailgate like the best of them. I
Well, we
think
do
there
that.
would be so
We do
much
that
fun in
here
that.
for our football games because the way our stadiums are set up, people bring smokers and awnings and gazebos, and they hang out there all day and
I
cook,
love it.
grill out.
That's
And it's great. Our tailgating's fucking awesome.
my uncle bought a fire truck one time to take to the Florida State tailgates, like a
Fire
retired
truck.
fire truck.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was the benefit of the fire truck? Just had a lot of room, or
Attention,
oh, okay. I'm just trying to
attention.
put two and two together. That's all.
Just pull it up in a fire truck. Cause
Just Florida man,
America,
America.
fuck yeah. In line too, like you made friends, but you also saw friendships break up, which you're lucky that didn't happen when you fell asleep on that one. Like
I mean, she was pissed, but rightfully so. I get it. Yeah, she had every right to be pissed, but our friendship didn't end because of that.
we joke too, like there was probably babies made like by the time the sun came up, or people were dating.
Probably. I don't want to know. But probably. Yeah.
It was like people not being watched by their parents getting dropped off and drinking.
And drinking.
So
And drinking. Because the cops were like, as long as you all stay put and we don't see the physical stuff, put it in a cup, we're fine. Just don't leave this. Don't leave this facility.
concerts before QR codes and the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic pricing. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And it's unfortunate that the last few decades you don't have to do that anymore. I mean, it's both good and bad, right?
Yeah. What's the last concert you went to?
The last physical concert that I went to, I think it was Iron Maiden, and I went to see Bruce Dickinson's speaking tour when he did that too a couple years ago. That was really funny.
Mine was Justin Timberlake, and I wasn't like the biggest fan, but it was still like the
Yeah,
greatest
you
concert.
said it was really good. When the performer really puts their all into it, it's one of the reasons that I like going to see Bruce Springsteen, and I know that he's a very divisive figure politically, which is fine. I don't go to see people because of or despite their political views. I don't really give a shit. Just fucking sing.
Yeah.
He
That's
puts
not why
on
we care about them.
Right. He puts on a great show, and it's a solid 3 hours of him. He doesn't have an opener. He didn't at the time, and I've seen him, I think, 4 or 5 times, and at no time did he have an opener. It's just him for that solid time until his wife performs, and then everybody leaves to pee and get beer.
Like
He
Yoko
takes
Ono.
he takes a break, and he's like, here's my wife. She's gonna sing a song, and everybody's like, no, she's not. I mean, that's cool. We're not gonna be here, and everybody leaves to go get beer and use the bathroom. That's what I did. It's just a mass exodus of that stadium. Nobody wants to hear your wife, Bruce. Shut the fuck up with that.
I think part of it too was just the people I went with were so fun. And that makes such a big difference too,
Oh,
is
sure it does.
when you have like the fun people with the positive attitude, happy to be there,
Yeah,
it's contagious. You're just happy.
I have seen. I did see another concert after Iron Man. The most recent one I saw was Tesla, and even that was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
You know what? I think Sublime was actually my latest
Oh shit! Nope, nope. That's not
at
true
X
either.
Games.
That's not true either. The last concert I saw was Judas Priest. That was two
Oh,
years
that's
ago.
cool.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. My friend came out for that as well because her car was having issues, and I was like, "We'll just bring it out here and leave it here and fly home, and he'll take care of your car." And so Eric fixed her car up entirely, and I was like, "Just come out for the Judas Priest show, and the three of us will go." And we had front row on the side tickets, and we got a guitar. Eric caught a guitar pick, so I have a guitar pick. And that was a
That's
good
awesome.
show.
That's
And
sweet.
I've seen Judas Priest many times, all with Rob Halford. I never saw it with I think that guy's name is Ripper, who was fine. I was like, I don't want to go see that. That's the most recent one.
I don't know. I guess if I had a wish list, I really want to see Eminem.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You like him, there's nothing wrong with that.
That
I'm
or still Dirty Heads or
yeah,
Rome,
I'm not gonna make fun of anybody for music they listen to, what they want
their
to see.
preference, yeah.
Yeah, if you like it, you like it. That's fine. Yeah, there are a lot of artists I don't particularly care for. I don't like the music, and I wouldn't pay money to. I wouldn't walk across the street to see them, but that doesn't mean that somebody can't enjoy them.
Love that concerts just feel like you can hear a band and hear their CD or their tape and you don't really feel it. And you can see that same band in concert, and if their energy's right, it's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen great opening acts that I had never heard of before and been like, holy shit, they were really good. I got to get their CD on the way out of here. Like, so when I saw Iron Maiden Ghost opened up for them, and I didn't really know a whole lot about them, I'd heard maybe a couple other songs and I wasn't really thrilled. It was like, whatever. But then when I saw them, I was like, holy shit. Like, they had a couple really good songs and the performance was really good. And I was like, well, that's pretty damn good. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we survived Ticketmaster before Ticketmaster.
Yeah, before Ticketmaster became like Ticketmaster. Yeah, we still had to pay the charges, but the service charge was like $250 back then. Now it's like $100. Now it's a service fee, a handling fee, a transfer fee. There's just a pile of fees in it. It's fucking insanity. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think we got our tickets at either Sears or Musicland.
We did not sell tickets at Musicland. We were not a ticket venue. Mm-mm.
Really?
Not when I worked there, and I worked there for several years. We were
Hmm.
never a concert ticket venue.
And then we also would go to the Civic Center box office.
You get them at Riverfront Coliseum box office, Cincinnati Gardens box office, or Sears, or Van Lunen's,
It's
or
crazy to
yeah,
think about how they did that too, because they probably just printed them all out and just gave each one, here's your stack, here's your
yeah. I
stack,
have
here's your
no
stack.
idea. I have no idea the inner workings of how concert tickets work. When
So if you knew the right
yeah,
place, you probably had much better seats,
I
you
don't
know?
know. I don't know how they did it. I don't. I don't want to know how that sausage is made. I don't want to know. Like they might
Right. You're
decide,
like, damn it.
oh, the people at Sears at Ticketmaster get these shitty seats, and the people at Cincinnati Gardens get the best seat. Like I don't want to know that. So
Yeah. Since we're almost done with this episode, I want to talk about how I felt on the ride home from the concert. I
yeah.
remember just like being deaf. Like you'd be in the
Oh,
car talking loud,
your ears were, you had them
like
muffled.
ringing.
Mine were mine weren't ringing. Mine always felt like I had earmuffs on them,
Yeah,
and
when you left.
sound was deadened. I didn't ever have the ring, but then I started wearing earplugs when I was still a teenager because I was like, I don't want to lose my fucking hearing. And I get tired of half an hour later after the concert, I can finally hear again. I was like, perhaps I should wear some earplugs. So I wore earplugs starting I think when I was about 17ish. So I still had like 4 years of just noise, but
And I think I've laughed at people crying at concerts, which I shouldn't laugh because that's actually kind of beautiful that they feel it that
they
much.
feel it that much.
Genuinely.
You can feel so. I mean, I can hear songs sitting in my computer and hear certain melodies or harmonies or certain chords and the
Oh,
way
that'll
the
make me
voice
cry.
sounds, and
Yeah.
it's just they're just moving. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But
Or
I
they
get it.
remind
I
you
get
of
it
somebody.
when you're a kid and you see that on TV and you're like, why are you crying? You're at a concert, weirdo.
Yeah.
Then you get older and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, it's differently. That's all.
But if there is video of me at some of those concerts, I must have been acting a fool too because I would leave with no voice.
Oh
Like we'd
yeah.
be in the car and I'd be like, "So, did you like what that song on the third one?" And then my friends would be like, "Huh? I can't hear
I
you."
can't hear you. I don't have I don't have a voice.
Yeah, you go to school the next day in your concert shirt, like, "Okay,
Yeah. I'm
I
ready to
made it.
learn. Don't call on me though. I don't have a voice.
I've torn my vocal cords."
All the screeching and screaming and singing at the top of your lungs. It was great. It was great.
It was great. With my lighter and praying I didn't get burned. Yeah.
Yeah. Your hair didn't singe or catch on fire.
That never happened to me, but I swear that had to have happened in some of those,
I'm
especially
sure.
like
I'm sure that it did.
Motley Crue or GNR, like some
I
of the
never witnessed any
hairstyles with
hair
the
fires.
Aquanet.
I never witnessed any hair fires, and my hair was full of Aquanet, so
Oh, and burnt hair smell is the
it
worst.
is. It's pretty bad. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember smelling weed and then those nachos with the cheese that
I
like
hate that cheese.
could
I hate that
survive
fucking cheese.
nuclear.
Yeah, it's not real.
Oh
I don't.
my
I don't know. I just
God.
don't like it.
It's so weird. Although I did like the jalapenos. It's like the pickled jalapenos. I
Yeah.
love those nachos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the $5 hot dogs, which are now probably 15.
Yeah.
Concert food. And then if you ate, you couldn't afford your t-shirt.
Yeah. It was. I have this much money. My T-shirt's gonna be this much, so I can't have anything to drink, and I can't eat food. I can't get a pretzel or anything. So we always had to make sure we
No,
ate
I was
before we went.
always trying to go to McDonald's first.
Yeah. You ate before. You eat before you concert. That's how that works. Yeah. Yeah. Tickets arrive in seconds. The technology is amazing, but every Gen X, inside every one of us Gen Xers as a person, we still believe that earning concert tickets required sore backs and bad coffee and mosquito bites and mosquito repellent and blankets and frostbite possibly and maybe heat stroke. But it was great. Now, we're going to stand up slowly because we can still feel the sidewalk because our back still hurts.
Yeah.
Our
But
knees and our backs hurt.
some of those nights standing in line are better memories than the concert itself.
Yeah, I agreed.
I have a
Agreed.
couple of those.
Yeah,
So, yeah. And I
agreed.
have a couple of friends probably still from those nights. So, that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, tell us about. We want to hear about your sleep out concert experience. What did you see? Were you
Yeah, who did you
were
wait for?
are you an older Gen X? So you waited in line in the '70s. Were you my age where you were waiting for the hair metal bands? We want to hear your experience. So come join us in the Facebook group and tell us how much fun you had sleeping out for concert tickets and who you went to see.
And thank you for listening.
As always, thank you for coming back and thank you for continuing to support our nonsense, our fun nonsense.
It is fun.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Bye, everybody.